Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, today I'm back with another book related video. So today's video, if you haven't guessed by the title, is a book haul. So I recently brought a lot of new physical copies of books that I thought would be interesting to just share on here. So before I get straight in, I'm just gonna say that two books haven't actually come yet. They're still on their way, but I wanted to film this before I actually read these books in front of me. So I will show the ones that I've ordered when I bought them, and then the other ones I will show at the end once I've gone through these ones, basically. If that made really any sense, but I'm not really sure it did. Okay, so let's get straight into the video. So the first book I'm going to show you I have actually read, but I brought it at the same time as all these other ones. But I was waiting for those two books to come, which haven't actually come yet, so I'm just going to get straight into it. So this is the only one that I've read so far. So this is Crave by Tracy Wolff. So this is very big on Book Talk. So well, it was. It's basically a vampire romance novel. That's basically it, and she at a boarding school is where this girl goes, and it's full of supernatural, but she doesn't realize that, and then the whole thing revolves around her being human, which turns out to be a twist in the end of this book. And I actually really like this book. But that's one I've read. The second one is Crush, which is also by Tracy Wolff. It's the second one in that series. I haven't got the other ones yet because two of them aren't out, and one of them's only out in a hardback, not paperback. If I knew that, I would have brought all these in hardbacks, but here we are. So this one I think is about, why is the light being weird? Is about carrying on with the character Grace's story in this school, and stuff happening, and she reunites with the guy that she's going out with, and his brother comes back, and it basically almost on here it says that there's some situations that may result in her death if they're not careful. The next one is They Both Die at the End. Now if you're on Book Talk and maybe even BookTube, this book is, well, I thought it was very, very talked about, and at first I thought it was very, very overhyped, but I decided to cave and I brought it. I've yet to read it, but it's basically about these two guys that find that they're gonna die sometime in that day. I'm not really sure how it works, but they find out that they're gonna die, and then they meet, and they basically kind of just spend their last day together, meeting each other and going on adventures before they eventually die. And that's not a spoiler because it's genuinely called They Both Die at the End. I forgot to say this is by Adam Silvera, I think that's how you say it. People say this book will make you cry. I don't cry at books. I don't know what it is. I don't even cry at movies. Because I know it's not real. I don't really know, but I don't tend to cry at things like that, so I guess we'll see. So next one I have is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. So I brought this book because I saw it on, I'm pretty sure Carrie Hope Fletcher read it, but I would say this is kind of like not fantasy, I don't really know. So basically this book is about a woman, I think she's around maybe in her 30s, I don't really know, and basically she dies, but she's transported into the Midnight Library, and she's basically given a chance to undo some things in her life that she regretted, even though she does want to die, but she's given the chance to redo some stuff. That's all I actually know about this book. I'm not really sure, but I'm really excited to give this one a go and see where it takes me on this book journey. Okay, so the next one I have is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. This still has the sticker on it because some of these books are buy one get one half price. here we are. So I don't know what this book is about, and I kind of brought it on a whim because I picked up some other books that are in this section, and then I found another one, and I was like, well, I can't just get one in the buy one get one half price, so I had to pick up another one, and this was the other one. But either way, it was on my list. It just wasn't very high on my to be read list, but now it is. So I've also bought this because Carrie Hope Fletcher talked about it. I think she talked about it in the first lockdown last year, so I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she did. So I have no idea. I don't know if you can hear that. My neighbours are always doing work in their garden to build something. Okay, so I think this book is about, I really don't even know. So what I think this book is about is these two people that don't know each other, but they share a flat and one bed, but they never meet because one sleeps there in a one bed flat and she's at work during the day. I don't really know how it works, but they kind of share a flat and one bed, but they've never met each other because they're always at different places. It's a bit confusing, but it just seems that they still haven't met, and this flat share is more complicated than expected. So I have no idea what this book is really about. I probably should have researched it before I started telling you, but because I haven't read it, I don't think I really need to. Apparently it's a romance novel or something. I don't know, maybe. I don't really know, probably, who knows. So the next one is Where the Crawdads Sing. This is also buy one get one half price. So this is, I'm not really sure. I've heard mixed reviews about this book. It's by Delilah Owens. So I have heard mixed reviews about this book. I've heard some say it's amazing, and I've heard some people say it was completely rubbish and over hyped, whatever. But I think I want to read it, so I'm gonna see what it is about. So it's set in 1969. I don't really like books that are set late or like then. Like, I don't really like books that I read some, but I don't really, not my main one I'd go to, if that makes sense. But here we are. So this is about a quiet town in 1969 when someone is found dead and the locals suspect someone, but apparently she's not what the person they suspect is, not what who they think, is not who they say. Apparently she might live in a marsh. That could be wrong, maybe I'm just interpreting that wrong. But it says, when the time comes when she yearns to be loved, when two young men from the town become intrigued by her wild beauty, she opens herself up to a new life and the unthinkable happens. So I haven't really heard about what this book is about, other than that some people think it's terrible and some people think it's good. But it is set in obviously 1969 and one's in 1952. Like the chapters are by different people. So I really don't know anything, but it ranges from the 1950 to 1969 apparently. So I'm gonna give it a go and I'll let you know how it is, I'm sure. So the next one is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also got this book because Carrie Hope, I think, actually maybe Carrie, I don't know if Carrie talked about this or another one, but this was also buy one get one half price. See where I went crazy in the bookshop. Apparently it's by the author of Daisy Jones and the Six. I haven't read that either, but here we are. So I picked up this book because I've seen it on BookTok a couple of times, and it kind of intrigued me to read it. So this is, she's a Hollywood icon, and she's from the 1950s, I'm pretty sure. And she's like ready to tell the media and everyone about her life, her truth, what you will. And she chooses this magazine reporter to tell her story to, and he's or she is quite shocked by what she learns about Evelyn Hugo. So it says, from making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s into the 80s, and she's had 7 husbands along the way from the 50s to the 80s. So she basically just tells this reporter about everything in her life, so her husbands and her friendships and everything else. Yeah, so I'm excited to give this one a go. So the next one is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. Might be saying that wrong. I thought these books, right, before I get into this one, were by the same author, because it's The 7 Deaths of Evelyn, or The 7 Husbands of Evelyn, but they're not. I found out when I bought them. This is the one I'm pretty sure that Carrie Hope Fletcher recommended, not that one. But so this book, I'm pretty sure, is about there's a party and this Evelyn Hardcastle woman is there, and she keeps getting murdered, and each day this guy fails to save her, so she does end up dying again. And the only way to break this cycle of her keeping dying, it says she's been murdered hundreds of times, but then it's called The 7 Deaths, so I don't really know. So the only way to break it is to identify who is killing her. So every time the day begins, this guy that's trying to save her, his name's Aiden. Right, so every time that she dies, and a new day begins, this guy that's trying to save her, which his name is Aiden, he wakes up in the body of a different guest. So then he's then got to try and all again to try and find out who is killing her, and someone is desperate to stop him from saving her. So maybe that's the person that killed her. I don't know. But I'm really excited to read this because the reviews are really good. So yeah, so that's all like the physical books. So I will go into like the books that I've ordered. So I'll put them on the screen because I'm not holding them. Okay, so the next one is these are 2 that I've brought, but they haven't yet come. So the first one is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuinson. Do apologise if I said that wrong, but this book basically is about is an LGBTQ book. So it kind of centers around the first son of the United States falling in love with the first with Prince Henry, who is a British prince. So it kind of just centers around them falling in love. I'm pretty sure, that could be wrong, I don't know, but that is all I've heard about the book and I wanted to read it. So let me see. Oh, so I think I'm on Goodreads, but I think that, so these people, 2 guys fall in love with each other, but I think their families are rivals, which makes it even worse. So it says here that they don't get along, that the families, so they plan to stage a fake friendship between the first son and the prince, which obviously I'm guessing end up backfiring because it is a romance novel between these 2 guys, so I'm guessing it backfires. So the next one that I have brought online that hasn't come is Influence by Sarah Shepherd and Lilia Buckingham. So I got really excited to read this because I love Sarah Shepherd's books. I've only read the Pretty Little Liar ones, but yeah. So this book, it says here that it's like centered around 4 different people. So it says, to everyone watching online, their lives seem perfect, but are they really? So I haven't really seen this anywhere, like I usually would on like Book Talk or stuff like that. I found out about it through Lilia because I follow her on Instagram, and it's been on my list for a while and I just decided to buy it the other day. But yes, that is my book haul. I'm sure I will do another one soon because I'm going to a bigger Waterstone soon, and I just can't help myself sometimes from buying books. So thank you for watching this book related video. I really appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe down below. On Wednesdays I do book videos, and on Sundays I post makeup related videos if you're interested in that. But thanks for watching again, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!